I had to come back one more time and make another video for Spreaker.com. This is Miss Aaron Little Cole coming to you once again from New York City. And I'm just going to make this video about Quincy Jones spilling all this tea, talking about all this business that occurred decades ago, stuff that happened before I was born. You know, when I heard about this on Wednesday, I'm not going to lie. When it was discussed that he gave this interview for Vulture.com, I have to say it was the perfect place to do this. You know, if you're going to talk about things that are controversial to people's ears, you got to talk about it to a medium that has a name like Vulture. Because he was straight up vulturing when he was talking about everybody from Marlon Brando to the Beatles to Michael Jackson and to Richard Pryor. I mean, the stuff that this man said is stuff that a lot of people wouldn't even be able to imagine. But I'm going to go ahead and talk about it. So basically, Quincy Jones gave an interview for Vulture magazine. And in the interview, he pretty much discussed people's business in the Hollywood world. And really, if you sit down and you think about it, Quincy Jones is a older man. He's an older. He's going to be 85 next month. And this man has lived a full life. And once a person reaches a certain age, they don't really bite their tongue anymore. They keep it blunt because they really don't have to, how can I say it? They don't have to curb their tongue. They pay their dues to society. So it's like, hey, you know, I got my 401k. Hey, I don't have to work for anybody anymore. I'm retired. I don't have to please anybody. I don't have to kiss anybody's ass. So I can say whatever the goddamn I want to say. And that's what I think happened. But I also think he's very bitter. Now, I'm going to criticize a lot of this. I felt as though he did have some moments of senility in it, especially regarding Ivanka Trump. But my issue was when he spoke about Michael Jackson and Richard Pryor. And when it comes to Michael Jackson, he basically said that, I hate to get into this publicly, but Michael Jackson stole a lot of stuff. He stole a lot of songs. Donna Summer's State of the Independence and Billie Jean. The notes don't lie, man. He was a Machiavellian as they come. So basically, he says that he was a greedy man. Don't Stop Till You Get Enough was written by a man named Greg Fillinganes. And he wrote the C section. And he said Michael should have given him 10% of the song, but he wouldn't. Instead, he claimed all the profits of that song. He also says that he used to kill Michael Jackson about plastic surgery. And Michael will always justify it and say it was because of some disease he had. And Quincy Jones calls it bullshit. And what I'm going to say about that is, with everything that Michael Jackson went through, if Michael Jackson was known as a thief, it would have came out years ago, especially around the time he was a pedophile. So I'm not going to claim that one. I think that's a lie. I think that he had a hate for Michael because Michael no longer wanted to work with him as a producer after the Bad album. I think it was a lot of animosity between the two. And also too, if you notice afterwards, like in the 90s, even when Michael was going through the cases with the child molestation cases, he never really said anything in defense of Michael. And I thought that was very, very odd. So, moving along, he also talks about who killed Kennedy. And he says the mob did it. I've heard the story about it many times before, and the connection between Sinatra and the mob. But he does say that Joe Kennedy was a bad man. He came to Frankfurt Volts to have him talk to these couple of mobsters. And even the person in Vulture says, I heard about this. But he asked him a question about, did they help him win Illinois? And I've learned about this in school. And this is when Quincy Jones has a moment of consciousness and says, we can't talk about this publicly. Where are you from? And the man says Toronto. He says, I was at the Massey Hall show. The Massey Hall show. So I don't know what that's about. So really, it gets really weird when he starts talking about Marlon Brando. And he says that Marlon Brando had slept with Richard Pryor, James Baldwin, and he slept with Marvin Gaye. And he says that Marlon Brando would sleep with anything. He would sleep with anything. And to me, I thought that was low class. I thought that was very disrespectful because none of them are there to defend themselves. And when you talk about people, with the exception of James Baldwin, who live their lives in the public as heterosexual, and then you turn around and say that they were in homosexual affairs, these people, a lot of them have children. And you can't really, in my opinion, to be fair, it's really wrong of you to do that to them because they have a legacy and they also make money since they've passed. And you can affect their estate like that. Because even though homosexuality is legal in terms of them being able to get married, you can't, most people don't even, a lot of people still view homosexuality as bad. And especially if somebody was a male heartthrob, they may not ever want to buy their merchandise ever again. They may not want to buy their music again. So I feel as that move was bad. That was a bad move. And I think he was trying to discredit, I don't think so much Marlon Brando, but certainly Marvin Gaye and Richard Pryor. That was bad. That was a bad one. And despite all of it all, my only issue with him really is you ain't telling your own business. And now I will have to say, Richard Pryor's widow came forward and said, yeah, this is true, because he even wrote about it in his journal. And he admitted that he had a 2-week affair with the transvestite. And I just said, oh God, Quincy, like, what are you doing to your legacy? Now you're going to be a queen spiller. You're going to be a tea spiller. You're going to do all this stuff. I just can't. But the one that really I thought he was having a moment of senility was when he said that he dated Ivanka Trump for 2 weeks. And that she had the most beautiful legs. And that her father being a racist, I'm not going to say that's a senility moment. But I felt as though it could have been them having dinner. It could have been them, just going for business. But I thought that it was just, he didn't tell his own secrets. And that's the thing that bothered me with this, because there's been a lot of secrets about him. They said that he wanted to have sex with Tupac. And, at the time, he was in his 60s. But that doesn't mean anything, because you can still have a sex drive even when you're in your 80s. But it's just that when you spill his tea on other people, you should spill some on yourself. And I feel as though if he would have told his own business, I think we as a public would have a lot more respect for him, because at least it would be like, well, he's going around talking, but he is keeping it real about himself. The fact that he didn't do that, it tells me that he's just a trashy person. And what he did was disrespectful. And I have lost all respect for him on this. So I'm going to sign off about this thing because I want to talk about it. And with that being said, this is Analytical bringing you another Spreaker.com episode. I hope you enjoy your day and have a great weekend. Take care. Bye.